Howdy. In this video, I'm going to be exposing magic. I'm going to expose it all.
Well, if you do that, then you're not a real wizard.
Shut up. I am a real wizard. I seemed way cooler in my mind. So I thought it'd be fun to share with you guys 3 routines. I'm going to perform them, and then I'm going to show you from my angle, like what I see when I do the tricks. It's a very different world from this side of the magic trick. You know what I'm saying, Mirror Jace?
Oh, I know what you're saying, man.
Now, before we dive into all the craziness, make sure that you smash like if you haven't already and subscribe. Also, turn the notification bell on because I could be assassinated at any moment from the magic circle. No! Now, this style of video is inspired by Penn and Teller, the way that they perform a trick and then they expose how it's done. I've always enjoyed those kinds of videos because as magicians, we practice so hard to achieve a skill that nobody ever gets to see. Now, out of the interest of self-preservation, the 3 routines that I'm going to share with you are tricks that I've pieced together myself, independently, on my own. This is so I can avoid having my inbox filled with magicians crying about how I ruined their lives. So, without any further ado, let's take a look at trick number 1. Alright, trick number 1 is a coin trick, baby. Did I say coin trick? I meant a ring trick. It's supposed to be a ring trick. Watch as I take the ring and I shake it, it becomes a coin. Of course, if I give it a little rub like this, it turns back into a ring and then back into a coin. The best thing about this whole illusion is if I squeeze that coin, it'll completely disappear. And that is trick number 1. Alright guys, let me show you my favorite coin trick. Did I say coin trick? I meant ring trick. It's supposed to be a ring trick. Let me just shake that, it becomes a coin, and then with a little rub it turns back into a ring again. My favorite part is when I turn it back into a coin, I can then give it a little squeeze, it becomes invisible. And that right there is the trick. Pretty trippy, right? From the performance perspective, it just looks like some cool illusions, right? From the backside, it all seems kind of simple, but then you got to think about all the fine motor skills that are being put into play to make sure that I'm holding the coin in the right spot, I'm able to manipulate the ring. I'm willing to bet that half the people that watched this video missed when I ditched the ring the first time. You probably had to go back and double check, right? Now it's time to take a look at trick number 2, and it's a card trick. I know we all love card tricks. Alright guys, for this trick here we get a card selected at random. In this case it's going to be the 3 of diamonds, and that's going to be left in the center of the pack, and all you have to do is pay close attention as I take the topmost card, and with just a wave of the hand that card will change into the 3 of diamonds. With just a little shake it changes right back, and that is bloody magic. How sick is that, man? That's a bloody good trick. It looks cool, the card changes twice visually. Now, truthfully, this is not a trick that many, if any, magicians would or could do in real life because it's so angle sensitive. The moves that I'm doing are like just extra, you know what I mean? They're the kind of moves that you would show other magicians to flex on them. But the mechanics of the trick are like a thing of beauty. I mean, just see for yourself. Alright guys, got a nice quick one for you here with this deck of cards. First we get a card selected at random. In this case, it's the 2 of clubs, and that gets left somewhere in the center of the pack, and all you have to do is pay close attention as I take the queen of diamonds, and with just a little wave of the hand, it becomes the 2 of clubs. The best part is when I tap the deck with it, it changes back into the queen of diamonds, and that is magic. Pretty cool, right? Now just remember that this video is about showing the beauty of the mechanics behind the magic. Okay? In order for the trick to actually be good, it really comes down to the performer. I'm talking personality. Because realistically, all these routines that I'm showing you right now, they're not really magic. They're more like juggling. You know what I mean? I'm showing like the juggling behind it all. The magic comes when the performer really manages to connect with the individual that they're doing the trick for. That's when it becomes magic. Up until that point, it's all just juggling. It's all just finger flicking. It's nothing. It's not even anything. Now, last but certainly not least, there's a trick using a pen. Talking a Sharpie pen, and it's awesome. Alright guys, check out my new wristband. It also doubles as a functioning Sharpie pen, you know what I'm saying? And you can tell it's a Sharpie pen because it smells real. Woo! Of course, if I take that pen with just a little squeeze, it'll become invisible. Completely invisible, but with just a little wave, it reappears right back there at the fingertips, baby. The wave does nothing. It's just union rules for magicians, you know what I'm saying? Of course, watch that pen. As I take it, it goes inside the pocket, but reappears at a moment's notice. Of course, if I take it this time here, it goes inside the pocket and reappears at a moment's notice, but with just a little rub, it'll actually become a heck of a lot bigger, and that is a bloody good trick. Now that routine is something that I came up with in like 2020, 2019, something like that. I'm pretty proud of it. It's I've never released it or anything, but it's a combination of like prompts that you could buy from places, like this cool snap wristband thing. But the mechanics behind it are more interesting. This trick only works on video. You can't do it in real life. So I hope you guys enjoy seeing the mechanics. Alright guys, for this one here, I got a nice quick one for you here with this Sharpie pen. With just a quick flick, it becomes a Sharpie pen, and then all I have to do is if I give it a little squeeze, it'll become invisible. My favorite part about this whole illusion is that with just a wave, it returns back to view again. If I take that Sharpie, I can place it inside of my pocket, and it actually jumps back at a moment's notice. Watch as I take that Sharpie pen, it goes inside the pocket and reappears back at a moment's notice, but with a little rub, it actually becomes a hell of a lot bigger. And that right there is magic. Now for the inquisitive minds of the internet, if you're wondering why I did this like pretend to take the pen thing twice like this, it's because, here's the psychology for it. The first time you do it, okay, your eyes kind of follow this, but then like you realize halfway, you're like, no, he's still holding it in that hand. So then I do it again, only this time now you're not going to look at this hand because you know that it's here, right? You're convinced that it's here. And that's the psychology, because I don't want you to look at me bringing in this giant ass pen. So the idea is the first time I do it, you'll have this reaction where you're like following it, but then your brain goes, no, it's in the other hand. So you look back. The second time you refuse to look away because you've outsmarted me. You know what I'm saying? You know it's here. So when I do this, no one's actually paying attention to this hand, which is now ringing in the giant ass pen. And that's how I kind of like escape it. So this ends up becoming a shock moment, and that's why people like it. Sometimes in magic, you give a little bit away to get a lot back, if that makes sense. You know, I want you to think that you're ahead of me so that I can get ahead of you. And I think that moment kind of elegantly sums it up. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I gotta get out of here now because I can hear the ruffling of an old warlock's cloak coming to assassinate me.
Call me Bucky, lucky that I'm innocent. If I didn't have no mobiles, I'd be menacing.